This is not breaking news. This is not a scandal. This is not about one person. This is about something far deeper, something that has quietly woven itself into the fabric of our systems, hidden in plain sight, untouchable by the very mechanisms that are supposed to protect us, and it's dangerous. For years, we've watched as certain truths were ignored, documents disappeared, and questions were brushed aside. But here's the thing, the more we ignore it, the more it festers, and the closer we get to a breaking point that will no longer be so easy to ignore. You might think you know how this goes, you've heard the rumors, you've seen the headlines, but what's been kept from you is far more dangerous than the story you're being told. If we don't confront it now, we may never get the chance to stay with me. This system, the one we've all assumed functions with checks and balances, is not what you think. Right now, the real power, the real control, isn't in the hands of elected officials or bureaucrats. It's somewhere far beyond the political theater you see on your screens every day. It's hidden behind a veil of secrecy, protected by layers of unaccountability. The decisions that shape our lives, the ones that affect you and me, are no longer made in open hearings or public debates. They're being made in the dark, away from prying eyes. The machinery behind it all, it's not what we were led to believe. And let me tell you, it's far worse than you've imagined. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This is not about one person. It's about a system, one that has learned how to protect its own no matter the cost, no matter the consequences. The real question is, who is behind it all? Change doesn't always happen overnight. It never does. In fact, it's the slow shifts, the subtle changes that we barely notice that are often the most dangerous. There was a time just a few years ago when this system wasn't as entrenched as it is now, when certain lines couldn't be crossed, when accountability still had a fighting chance. But over time, those lines blurred. The rules changed. The very definition of what was acceptable, what was permissible, became warped. And now we're left with a system that's no longer capable of keeping itself in check. It happened so quietly, so gradually, that most of us didn't even notice. But those who have been watching, those who have been paying attention, can see it now. The system has been bent, reshaped, and now it's no longer something that serves the people. It serves those who know how to manipulate it. And we didn't see it coming. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the moment it all cracked wide open. It wasn't a bombshell. It wasn't some out-of-nowhere revelation. No, it was something much more methodical. A small, simple question that no one else had the courage to ask. A question about the Epstein Files, about the documents that, for years, have been kept under lock and key. And there, in that hearing room, it all started to unravel. One document, one small piece of evidence, slipped through the cracks. But that's all it took. Eric Swalwell knew exactly what to ask. He didn't dance around it. He went straight for the heart of the matter. And that's when Kash Patel's face changed. That's when the system so carefully constructed began to show its flaws. Here's how it works, though. This isn't a story about one person or one mistake. It's about how power operates behind the scenes. The FBI, the intelligence agencies, they don't just work for us. They work for the system that keeps everything in place, a system that knows exactly how to shield those in power from accountability. Who benefits from this? Those who are connected, those who can pull the strings. People like Patel, who know exactly what they're doing when they push documents back, when they classify evidence, when they make sure certain names never see the light of day. Who absorbs the damage? You, me, the American people who are kept in the dark, whose trust in the system is quietly eroded bit by bit until we don't even know what's real anymore. The question is, who's pulling the strings? And how long before it all collapses under the weight of its own lies? And then just like that, it escalated. The pressure was on. The room shifted. The stakes were no longer theoretical. This wasn't just a political exchange. This was an accusation, one that couldn't be ignored. Patel tried to pivot. He tried to turn it into another partisan argument. But this time, it wasn't working. Swalwell wasn't buying it. 23 documents, reclassified. All of them tied to the same name. Swalwell wasn't playing games anymore. He had the documents, he had the evidence, and he wasn't letting go. But Patel, he was on his heels. No answers, just more evasions. The truth was slipping away from him, and everyone could see it. You, the American people, deserve to know the truth. Because this isn't just about high-level politics or obscure classified documents. This is about what's happening right now, today, to people just like you. What happens when the system meant to protect you starts to protect the powerful instead? It's not just an abstract concept, it's your trust in institutions. It's your faith that justice will prevail. When the FBI, when our government, when those in charge of national security start burying evidence, that's when the system breaks. And the most dangerous part? You might not even realize it until it's too late. Until the people who are supposed to keep you safe have become the very ones who hide the truth. If you feel a sense of urgency right now, you should, because this is only the beginning. This isn't just a local issue anymore. The fallout from this secrecy, it's spreading. It's rippling out into the global stage, into international relations, and into systems far beyond the reach of Washington. What happens when the powerful protect each other, not just within borders, but across the world? When the truth is buried so deeply, it's not just the American people who suffer, it's everyone who believes in the integrity of global systems. This is no longer just about one country. It's about a global pattern, one that, once revealed, will change everything we thought we knew about accountability, justice, and the limits of power. And the worst part? We don't know where it ends. 3 paths lie ahead. 1, adjustment. The system, under mounting pressure, might bend but not break. Reforms are made, the veil is lifted, and accountability is restored just enough to avoid total collapse. 2, erosion. The cracks deepen. The system doesn't break, but it becomes weaker, more fragile. The lies pile up, and the truth becomes harder to find, buried under more layers of reclassification, more layers of secrecy. 3, rupture. The dam breaks. The weight of all the secrets, all the corruption is too much. Everything falls apart. Public trust, the very institutions we thought we could rely on, shattered beyond repair. Which will it be? We don't know yet, but the clock is ticking. This isn't going away. What happened in that hearing room? The questions that were asked, the names that were revealed, they will linger in the air, demanding answers. Answers that, so far, haven't come. And while the system tries to bury this, tries to ignore the questions, the cracks are already showing. Patel might have been able to dodge the truth for a while, but it's only a matter of time before the weight of these secrets collapses under its own burden. So, what will happen next? Will there be justice? Or will the system continue to protect the powerful, allowing the truth to slip further and further into the shadows? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. If you want to know what happens next, if you want to stay ahead of the narrative, subscribe and hit the bell icon. Don't miss what comes next. The truth is coming out one document, one hearing at a time.